Hi friends, Prepared Suburbanite here. Wanted to share my birthday present purchase with you in this video. And here it is. It's my new Armalite AR-15. Want to take you through the video to show you the decision processes that I went through prior to purchasing this terrific AR-15. So stick with us. Thanks. This, folks, is the Armalite Eagle M15 AR-15. The reason that I ended up picking this is that it was in stock at my local gun shop. And I got to give a shout out to the local gun shop. It's Triangle Shooting Authority. It's in the Briar Creek district in northwest Raleigh, not too far from the airport. They've just completed construction of a huge shooting facility, retail store, complete with a lunch counter, windows that you can sit at the lunch counter, enjoy your lunch and a cup of coffee, and watch the guys shoot through the windows. Phase 2 of their expansion will be to install 100-yard indoor rifle range. Right now it's just limited to normal range depth for pistols and I think shotguns. But anyway, they have got a terrific facility. It's all brand new. The sales folks are very well trained, really know what they're doing, really know what they're talking about. So I would highly recommend that if you're in the Capital District of North Carolina and you've got any interest in the shooting sports, stop by Triangle Shooting Authority at the Briar Creek District. It's just terrific. So let me tell you a little bit about what I did in preparation for this. For this purchase, the first thing I really have to say is that this was a joint decision made by my wife and me. We set a budget of about $1,000, give or take, to get our first AR-15. And she's agreed, I agreed, and we decided, well, let's shoot for the old man's birthday. So we did, put some pennies aside, saved up the money, have got it so that we can purchase the AR-15 without any hurt to the budget, without any hurt to anything else that we do on a day-to-day expense basis. So what I did in preparation for this, once we made the decision that we're going to get an AR-15, was to go through a ton of YouTube videos, all the recommendations about your first AR-15 purchase. What you got to be looking for, what you got to be concerned about, what your budget should be, what features the guns should have, what features to stay away from in some of the guns. And I can't tell you how many AR-15 videos I've watched over the last 2 to 3 weeks or so getting ready for this purchase. So what we ended up doing is I made a list that detailed some of the things that I would consider important after listening and watching all the YouTube videos from all the folks out there. Hickok was probably the most informative, but price was obviously a big driver. So I made a column on an Excel spreadsheet for price for a couple, 3 different places around where you could possibly buy it online and have it shipped to your dealer and all that kind of stuff to see what the price ranges were. I wanted to make sure that the uppers and lowers were metal. I wanted to make sure that the barrel was chrome lined and was cold hammer forged, one or the other, if not both. That the sights came with it. So the front and the rear sight, or even a red dot optic, if that was within the budget. Whether the bolt carrier group was coated, chrome coated, or whether it was pressure treated, all those kinds of things. So I made an Excel spreadsheet that's got a whole bunch of columns on it, including the weight of the gun itself unloaded. And so I started zeroing in on the ones that seemed to be the most popular out there, the most highly recommended, or the most frequently recommended. And I ended up with the Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport, which goes for about $700. The Ruger AR-556, which also goes for about $700. The DPMS Panther Arms Oracle, which goes for about $550 to $575. The Bushmaster QR Carbine, or the Bushmaster Carbine 15. And they run, the QR runs about $650, and the Carbine 15 runs about $700. So as I went through all the different features of each one of the guns, once I established the price and started looking at the uppers and lowers to find out what they're made of, what the experience of the experienced shooting community was with those, how the barrel held up, what the twist in the barrel was, the sights, the rail, whether it's got a full rail, if it's a flat top, or it just simply had a hand guard, and then all the details about the bolt carrier group, that kind of stuff. So I zeroed in with my top pick as a toss-up between the Smith & Wesson M&P Sport or the Ruger AR-556. So we hopped in the car, hopped in the Jeep. I know every time I call my Jeep a car, God kills a kitten, so I got to be careful with that. Anyway, so we hopped in the Jeep and we went to Triangle Shooting Authority. Walked in and were greeted by a very friendly guy named Chris. He really did seem to know his stuff and was a good salesman as well. He started right in with the top of the line, you know, $2,500 AR-15s and all that kind of stuff. Then I said, whoa, we gotta slow down here. Here's what I'm looking for. It's my first AR-15 purchase. I want to start kind of at a basic entry level so I can learn about it, get used to how it shoots, know the different features and know the different parts. And I've got a budget, which I didn't disclose to him what the budget was. But so we walked back to the wall of guns that they've got behind the counter, and he pulled down a couple of different guns, and he said, well, this one here is, you know, $950, and this one here is $875. And I said, no, we got to drop down. So I asked him, have you got the Ruger AR-556? He said, I wish I did. I wish I had 100 of them, but they are so hard to get that the day we get them, they're gone. And how about the Smith & Wesson M&P 15? He said, same story. He said, they are very, very popular. We've been selling AR-15s like crazy. So I said, so what have you got in stock that's comparable price-wise and feature-wise to that? He says, I got something even better. So he reached up on the wall and he pulled down their display model of the Armalite Eagle. And he started going through all the different features of it. And that's where I learned that both the uppers and the lowers are aluminum. Barrel length is 16 inch. The twist is 1 1/8. It's chrome lined and chrome vanadium composite. It had a front post sight but no rear sight. Comes standard with a handguard. The bolt carrier group is definitely pressure tested, and the bolt carrier group is chrome lined. And that was a big appeal to me. The price was $650. And I thought, my God, this is it. So he got one out of the box, out of the back room, brought it out, all brand new, still in the wrappers and all that kind of stuff. And we broke open the box. he took the thing apart, put it all back together, said, okay, here you go. See how that feels for you. This and that, went over how the different features of it work and showed me all the ins and outs of the gun. My wife picked up the gun, shouldered it. It felt really good to her. I said, so let's talk sights or optics. And he took me over to their optics counter. And of course, they've got $1,000 and $1,200 super duper optics. And I said, well, no, I'm not quite ready for that. I'm really more looking for something in the range of $100. Maybe the Bushnell TRS 25. And he said, well, good luck finding one of them. They're very, very popular. It's a real decent red dot scope, and they work really good with these AR-15s. He said, you may be able to find them online at a reasonable price. They're going anywhere from $80 to $100, depending on what the mounting bracket is, if it's the high-rise or the mid-range, the medium-sized one. He said, but I don't have any. He says, in fact, about the cheapest sight that I've got, red dot optic, is about $350. Oh, okay. So we just went and picked up a standard Magpul rear sight and got that mounted, and that was it. Picked up some ammo, picked up some PMags, and put the whole thing in a bag, put the gun back in the box, and I walked it home, threw it out in the Jeep, and brought it back, and here it is. Now, I haven't had a chance because the weather's been the way the weather's been. It's been super, super hot. Right now it's about 98 degrees. I'm shooting indoors because it's a little bit cooler. It's so hot outside that I can't even breathe, and the humidity's so high, it's so thick, and there are threats of some severe thunderstorms later on this afternoon. So I didn't want to take the chance of filming outdoors. But next week, we're planning a trip to our bug out location property, and going to take the AR up there with us. Picked up a couple extra boxes of ammo so that we can get used to it. Right now, I'm on the lookout for that Bushnell TRS 25, and I did find that they've got them on Amazon for a reasonable price. They're right around $100 with a high-rise mount. You can get them for about $80 without the mount, and then you've got to go spend $10 or $12 on the mount. So it all kind of averages out there. But at least they said they have them in stock. So maybe within a week or 10 days or so, I'll be ordering that, and that'll be coming in too. And that should complete at least the first round of accessorization for my AR-15. So that's my story. I'm sticking with it. I'm really looking forward to getting this up to the bug out location and getting the thing sighted in, getting used to it, having my wife shoot it a couple of times to make sure that she's comfortable with it. And I'm really just going to plain enjoy this AR-15. This is the Prepared Suburbanite, reminding you to be prepared always. Out for now.